Hello guys, today we're going to be adding a search bar to your web browser here. I'm eventually going to get to a tutorial where I show you how to actually search directly from here. That's going to take a little bit more work, and I'm going to need a little bit more time for that to even figure it out myself, because I've got it pretty much figured out, but I just have to perfect it and stuff. So this was requested by a user. I wish I had their name. I gladly accept user requests. If you have any questions, PM me, comment, whatever. I gladly accept it and I enjoy it. So, we're basically going to have to shrink this down, of course. Let's just shrink that guy down. Probably not quite that much. Let's see, how much do we have to work with here? So, we're just going to go ahead and add another text box like you just seen there. Going to stretch it out, and actually this should be a little bit smaller. I forgot we're going to add a button over here. I was thinking just about the text box there, but kind of need to have a little bit more room there. So the text in here is going to be search. Okay. So in order to get this to work, if you haven't already, you're going to want to create a settings part of this. Now, in future tutorials, I'm going to show you how to set a home page, which is relatively simple. It's actually a really simple process. So you probably want to put that on your settings as well too. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here to the menu bar, and we're going to add an item next to file called tools, and we're going to put under there settings. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to go project, add Windows form, and of course you can set this up any way you want. I'm just basically trying to make it as simple as possible, and this is probably going to be the most likely way of doing it. So we're just going to name this form settings. Okay. Now before we get any further on this one, we're going to go up here to project, Windows form. I'm going to be doing a tutorial on bookmarks too, so that's why that's there. We're just going to be basically naming this settings as well. And for now we're just going to set the value to 1, and you're going to see why we do that here in a minute. Everything should stay the same, and the value is going to equal 1. Now we're going to go back to here, and you basically just kind of resize this to whatever you think. Probably most likely you're going to want it to be a little bit longer than wide here. So I'm going to go ahead and just capitalize the S. Okay, we're going to change the form. While we're at it, why don't we just make the maximize box and minimize box equals false, and I forgot show icon and show in taskbar can also be false. Again, you can tweak this any way you want and such. Now we're going to change the form border style to fixed dialog. Okay, so that won't allow it to be resized, so we don't have to worry about any anchoring or any worrying about, the size being changed or anything like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look for a group box. Yes, there it is. And we're just going to add that onto here. And we're going to name this, well, I'm just going to name it search. You can, I'm not really thinking of how to name this right now, but this is basically going to list the options for search. What I've picked out today is Google, YouTube, and Bing. You can, of course, add your own. You can change this however you want. I'm gonna go ahead and make this easy for you. All the URLs that you need are going to be in the description, so this is going to make it pretty simple for you. Now we're gonna go ahead and add 3 group boxes here, or not group boxes, radio buttons. See if I can find them here real quick. I'm sure you're getting a nice view in my head. Sorry about that. It's here. I'm right in this area. No, there they are. Alright, so we're gonna add 3 of these. And again, you can design this however you want, and such. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna name the first one Google. The second one YouTube. Whoops. Yeah, that doesn't really matter. If you change that, that doesn't really matter too much. We're going to name this one again YouTube here. And this last one we're just going to name Bing. Okay. So now what we need to do is we're going to say, we're not going to check any of these, but we're going to double click on Google here. And we're going to say my dot settings dot what's dot search, right? You know what? I'm sorry. I did not mean to name it settings. I don't know why I named it that. It should be search. Just renamed that to search. I'm not sure why I named it to settings here. So now we're going to double click on that, and we're going to name it and then we're going to go my.settings.search. Okay, and we're going to equals 1, and this is basically how we're going to figure out which one is provided here. So we're going to go back here, go to YouTube, and we're going to say my.settings.search equals 2. So you get the idea now. And of course, Bing is going to be 3. My.settings.search equals 3. So this is going to be how we identify how or which one is selected. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to double click on the title bar or any blank area here, and we're going to go to the form load events. As you can see, we're there now, and we're just basically going to say if my.settings.search equals 1, then it's going to mark radio box 1. So radio box 1 dot checked equals true, and it's automatically going to fill in that end if for you. So the next thing we're going to put is if my.settings.search equals 2. Scoot this chair on a little bit here. 2. Then it's going to check radio button 2. So checked equals true. And then we're going to, of course, do this for the third one. So if my.settings.search equals 3, radio button 3.checked equals true. So this is basically going to automatically, I don't know what I did there. TRUE. So it's basically going to find which one it is, and then it's going to check that box for you automatically. So that way it keeps it consistent and such. So we're going to add a button to the settings panel here, and we're just going to name this OK. And I'm going to go and shorten that up a little bit. And we're just going to say OK. Okay, now after doing that, we're going to go back to the web browser here. And we're going to go under Tools and Settings. We're going to double click that. And then this is going to be settings.show dialog. So let's just check on that as well. So again, you shouldn't have any errors. Let's just go up to Tools and Settings, and as you can see, it automatically checked Google. Now if you notice, it started up here a little bit, and you might want it to be in the center. So what we're going to do here is we're going to close this, and we're going to go back to the settings, and we're going to click on any blank space here, and we're going to go down to Start Position, and we're going to make this center screen. Now I forgot to code the OK button, so this button's pretty simple. It's just me.close. Okay. So for the OK button down here, it's me.close. Sorry if I'm being a little jumpy, I just kind of forgot a couple things here. So the next thing we need to do is program the search button. Now again, this is pretty simple. It's just if my.settings.search equals 1, so basically if it's Google, then AX web browser 1 dot navigate, and then you're put parentheses, and you're going to put this in quotes here. Let me get the file down here. Again, all this is going to be in the description. I'm going to have these down there so it's nice and simple for you. We're going to copy, and in parentheses we're going to do that, and then we're going to end quote, and we're going to add a plus, and then we're going to say textbox2 dot text. Okay, so then after doing that, we're going to do this again, but this time if my .settings search equals 2, then where am I? AX web browser 1 dot navigate, and then we're going to put the YouTube link here. So just copy that out of the description there. Going on 11 minutes already. This is crazy. And we're going to end the quotes, and then we're going to add plus, and then again text box 2.text. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and I'm going to do the third one, and you guys should know how to do this from there. Alright, so after you have all that, we're going to go and run this. And it looks like I have an error somewhere. Let's see where I have an error. As you can see, you need to make sure that you have all your parentheses and everything. So that should fix that. So let's go and let's play this now. Now I did forget something. We need to anchor this, like we did with the original address bar. That we need to anchor this. And we'll go and get to that here in a minute. But if I just search, I don't know, Google, as you can see, enter does not work. So let me hit OK here. See what's going on. Oh, it's going in the wrong box. Okay, hold on. Let's go and let's anchor this real quick, because that is one thing I forgot to do here. So we're going to anchor this. We're going to go up to the properties and anchor this to, instead of the top left, it's going to be the top right. Top right. Okay. And same with the button here, it's going to be top right. So now we go ahead and let's just type in Google here and hit search. As you can see, it searches Google for Google. Okay. So now if we go to tools and settings, and let's just change this to YouTube, click OK. If we hit search again, it's now going to search Google on YouTube, so that's pretty cool. You can add all you want down here, you can change it. Basically what you do is you go to Google, let's say you're trying to get to a site. Basically what I do is I go, let's say google.com, and in the search bar I'll type test. On the URL bar, whatever web browser you're on, I copy everything from the HTTP all the way to wherever that search term is. So as soon as it has as soon as it says test, everything before that you copy, and then you use that, and then you say plus text box 2. So this is just a quick tutorial on how to set up a search on your web browser. So any other suggestions, go and hit the go and comment me or PM me. And if this helped, hit the like button, please.